Welcome back to Crime Stoppers. Detectives continue to work the case of Arthur Palmer in search of his killer. Here we are at 3033 Francis Avenue, where Arthur Palmer was found murdered in his home. Can you tell us a little bit about Mr. Palmer?
He was somewhat of a recluse. He was known by his neighbors to be a quiet man, someone that, mostly kept to himself. His hobby was working on cars. He's got a couple of old cars parked underneath in the carport area underneath the balcony, and there's also a car parked inside of the residence on the first floor close to where his body was found.
Mr. Palmer was known as a compassionate, quiet man, but very friendly, even though he has lived alone for many, many years.
So how was the family's reaction to Mr. Palmer's passing?
His family does not live in this area. They were very shocked to hear of his death. Unfortunately, the last time they had heard from him had been in December of 2014. Even though they didn't have a day-to-day contact with him, they were very saddened by his passing, and when they learned what had happened, they were distraught. And they have been very cooperative with us, and they really would like to see some kind of resolution in this case.
Can you give a little bit of information about Mr. Palmer, what you know of him, how he was a family member, anything that might help us figure out what happened to him ultimately?
Well, Arthur was he was notoriously reclusive, even as a child. Mm-hmm. The last time I ever saw him, I was 11 years old.
And I think because he lived alone his whole life, and his mother died in 1993, and he lived alone that whole time. And I don't know what happened to him, but I'm pretty sure that he was concerned about that he might have some horrible thing happen to him, and then sure enough that does.
Because he had not kept in contact with any of the members of the family except two of my sisters. Mm-hmm. And one of my sisters died, so nobody knew what had happened to him.
Right.
So when he was murdered, he was just, I guess you call it a John Doe, was unknown to anyone. Mm-hmm. But they found, in searching the house, they found the addresses of my sister and contacted us.
Do you believe there's any reason why Mr. Palmer was targeted specifically out of all the other houses in this neighborhood?
Yes, we definitely do not believe that this was a random act of violence. We believe it was targeted. We believe this house was specifically chosen. We believe that because if you look at all of the other houses in the neighborhood, they're very well kept. The neighborhood is real quiet. And if you were a criminal looking for a target of opportunity, you would probably try to pick one of the houses that looked a little bit more kept, because obviously they would probably have more things of value inside. You look at this house, this house doesn't even look lived in. The cars are old, they're beaten up, they're dilapidated, the porches will fall through if you walked on it. So, I mean, in order for someone to have chosen this particular house, that person or persons believed that there was something of value inside.
Did you find any evidence that might help lead you to a suspect or potential suspects?
Yes, we found some items of evidentiary value we think might help us in the future. So far, we've been unable to connect anything we found to a particular suspect. We believe that at least one or more neighbors may have seen something around that time, and they may not know that it could be important to the case. So a lot of people think, oh, well, they found the body Friday. Well, I didn't see anything unusual Friday, but you have to keep in mind that the last time he was seen was on Tuesday, and his body was in a state of condition that he could have been murdered anywhere from that Tuesday until the time he was found on Friday.
So we're talking July 21st to July 24th of 2015.
Yes, anything unusual between those dates could help us. It's important that if they saw something that was unusual, I don't care what it was, if they can contact my partner, Don Retzlaff, and I, and let us figure out whether it's related or not, we'd be appreciative.
I think he was targeted. The reason I say that, he lives in an area that there just doesn't seem to be a lot of street crime in those little streets in La Crescenta. And he's not the type of person that would have alienated people in the public. So somebody targeted him for something he had. Right. That's my belief. And there's the expression, if you see something, say something. Well, if anybody out there saw something or heard something about this crime, heard from anyone who might have known anything about it, please call Crime Stoppers.
If you have any information that may help solve either of these cases, please call Crime Stoppers or the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. Remember, you can remain anonymous. Thanks for watching. I'm Natalie Mitchell. Good night.